Welcome to the pod episode 2 series that I hope will help people understand the history and a story of the universe of Destiny that's hidden behind strange riddles on item flavor texts and grindy grimoire cards. I myself will probably learn a few things because I will be digging through grimoire cards and item descriptions to try to find the secrets of the world of Destiny. So without further ado, we're going to talk about the first subject, pre-Golden Age human beings and their first encounter with the Traveler. We're going to begin the subject with the opening cutscene. As you can clearly see, it says beta in the top right corner of the video. I just don't have a way to capture footage off my PS4 and put it onto my computer at this moment, but I hope that you're okay with that. I don't see why you wouldn't be, but either way, if you are okay and you just want to get this video over with, I'm gonna continue the video now. My first interruption of the video is I'm going to take this and rewind it back to what I think to be an extremely important event in this video. And here we are. This is the planet Mars, present day, and what I thought this was important to take note of is that this is the first human footprint on a planet that is not Earth. This is the beginning of the golden age of humanity, which in the Destiny lore is remarkably important. That's when humanity started getting just crazy with the exploration of space. That's when their technology just went nutso. I'm going to talk about later in the episode, it also made humans biologically better, not just their technologies and things like that. So this is kind of where it all starts. The first human footprint on Mars. And alright, that's it. I'm going to continue the video. Alright, interruption number 2. Now what we're seeing here are the 3 crew members of Ares 1, the spaceship shuttle, don't know which one, but it was tasked with bringing the crew 3 to Mars. The crew members are Commander Jacob Hardy, which is the pilot, and 2 other people. They don't have a specific job that we know of, but they're Mihailova and Chow. Now I could be pronouncing those wrong, I apologize if I butcher those names, but let's move on. Now we know who these people are because the Ghost Fragment grimoire cards for humans are transcripts from Hardy's journal. Now the first thing I'm going to read from these grimoire cards are a part which is very important of the character. I'm not a spiritual man, but I've always believed there's something transcendent about spaceflight, something pure. We go out there because we can, because it's who we are. Now we go because we have to, because the unknown came to us. In 14 months, we'll be in face-to-face with it. By the time we arrive, it should be active again, just like it was active on Jupiter and Mercury and Venus. Now, what this is showing is that they planned a 14-month period where an unknown thing was traveling planet to planet, and they predicted that the next stop was going to be Mars. So they sent humans to Mars to face it. And that's who these people are, and that's what they're doing here. Alright, let's continue with the video. Alright, I'm just going to pause this for a second. Do you see anything somewhat wrong with this picture? If you don't, I'm just going to tell you. They're holding guns. These are scientists, astronauts, that are going to meet a strange thing doing even stranger things that humans obviously do not and cannot understand. Now, these people, if this is extraterrestrial life, are going to be acting as ambassadors, and they're holding weapons. Now, this isn't really too far-fetched, because if it is extraterrestrial life and it is not friendly, they're going to need to defend themselves. They don't know what they're up against. They don't know if these will even hurt them. But it just goes to show that we're in a time period where we are remarkably curious and we want to see what's out there. We're possibly even a little afraid. Now, another part of the journal, at the very end of the first Ghost Fragment for Humans, Commander Hardy says, "I hate that we're carrying weapons. I understand the necessity, but I hold to my belief. There's something beautiful out there. It's up to us to reach it." Now, this proves that he is a man of, I don't want to say science, but he's a man of humanity. He doesn't want these weapons there because he thinks they're pointless. He thinks it's a bad idea to bring these weapons to something that should be a beautiful experience, both for him and his crew and all of mankind. So this says a lot about the situation and how the crew feels about what's happening. It shows that humanity is still gung-ho about, alright, if it's bad, shoot it in the face. So they're out to see this extraterrestrial life. They're holding guns. It's a little weird. The character himself does not like it. Let's move on. And here we are. This is the first time humans see the Traveler, and this is the first time the Traveler sees humans. This is a very important, probably the single most important part of the story. This is when the magnificent Traveler and the lowly humans first meet. As you can see, it's making it rain on the planet. It's terraforming it, making it inhabitable for creatures. This is just simply a very important part, and that's all you can say about it. This is just when they meet and they discover what that strange thing doing stranger things is.
We called it the Traveler, and its arrival changed us forever. Great cities were built on Mars and Venus. Mercury became a garden world. Human lifespan tripled. It was a time of miracles.
Alright, there we met the speaker for the first time. Well, we didn't really meet him, we heard his voice, speaker, and he talks about the miracles that the Traveler performs, one of which is the making the worlds just something better. It says Mercury, which is a planet really close to the sun that's hot all the time, into a garden world filled with vegetation, plants. It did things that humans didn't think would be possible. It also says that it tripled the human lifespan. Now, the human lifespan, I looked it up, in the United States of America, which is where I reside. I know it varies in different countries, but it's roughly 70-something years, and it got tripled, and that tripled, by today's standard, it could be much more significant in the future. It tripled their lifespan, which is roughly 230 years. Now, a part of the Ghost Fragments for Humans from Commander Hardy, it also brings back the point of them carrying weapons to this event. We carried rifles. They made us heavier and slower and probably less safe. I think the argument about the rifles can be left for another time. What's important is it turned out well. Look at me. Look at us. You're talking to a 90-year-old man. A 90-year-old man who's never been sharper. I'm miles ahead of every cognitive benchmark. What's happened to me is good. What's happened to all of us is good. When we crested that rise and made visual contact with the artifact, I don't think anyone of us dared dream that it would end this well. We went to Mars at the cutting edge of human civilization, and it wasn't our weapons that won the day. It was our ship, our training, our camaraderie, our belief that if we just reached out to the universe, not to grasp for profit or security, but with an open hand, we would be elevated. We were right. That makes me so happy to this day. Now, that's significant because it's showing that, well, it's saying that it didn't just make us live longer. It didn't make us still old and decaying. We're old and decayed longer. It completely expanded our lifespan. We live longer. We are in our prime longer. We are simply better longer. We don't grow old and then get put on life support for 200 years. We just live 238 years, and a larger portion of that is, and we're in our prime. We're healthy. We're still considered young at this point. So you could be 100 something and he could still be considered young. He's ahead of every cognitive benchmark. He's not on it, he's ahead of it. And he's a 90-year-old man who got the effects after he was most likely in around his 40s, maybe 30s. That's how powerful the travel is. That's the gifts it gave humans when it first arrived. It made planets inhabitable. It caused them to live so much longer that it outright started the golden age of humanity. That, and the fact that now that they can live longer, and they don't even need to terraform all of these planets, they're all ready for them. So they got to Mars, they have the possibility of deep space travel, they can go to Venus, they can go to Mars, they can go to Mercury and just build. It's all ready for them. They're all blank canvases. And that is what starts the golden age of humanity. And that is why simply meeting the traveler changed, in the Destiny world, their destiny.
We stared out at the galaxy and knew that it was our destiny to walk in the light of other stars. But the traveler had an enemy, a darkness which had hunted it for eons across the black gulfs of space. Centuries after our golden age began, this darkness found us. And that was the end of everything. But it was also a beginning.
And that was it. That was the pod episode I created to give you all a broad example of what I plan on doing with this series. There is not a lot on the pre-Golden Age humanity and the meeting with the Traveler. What I went over is just about it. There could be more. If I missed anything, please let me know in the description. And I know there's a chance that this could get very negative feedback, and I will obviously abandon the project until I could possibly make it of a higher quality in the future, or abandon it completely if it turns out that it is simply a bad idea. I enjoyed making this video. I hope to make more in the future, and just in case this gains positive feedback, let me know in the comments below what I should do a video on next. And until then, be brave.